guys. I'm just gonna get straight into the video because I don't want to make it draggy. I want you to get all the points that I'm trying to make and show you how easy things can get once you actually understand um, the theory behind them. So the first thing I want you to notice is how clean my chart is, right? There's no clutter on the chart. The second thing I want you to notice is this black line on my chart. This line is what we call an EMA. Now there's different types of um, moving averages. This one is called the exponential moving average, and it's no secret I use the 50 EMA before you guys ask the 50 EMA. So, in this video, what we're going to focus on is two things: support and resistance in confluence with the EMA. And I'm not saying you can trade only with these two um, technicals, but it damn sure helps. So, Mm, not briefly going into this, I'm on the 1 hour. Now, this works for any time frame, but one thing I want you to note, and this is something my mentor has taught me, so I want to teach you this. The lower the time frame, the more manipulation. The higher the time frame, the easier the trade gets. It just takes longer. So for me, I trade on the daily, the 4H, and the 1 hour. Well, daily and 4H. Entries are on the 1 hour and 30 minute. So a lot of talking, but let me just get into this. So I'm looking at these two candles and I place a line on the bodies of this candle, right? So if you take a look at this, this is what we call a break of previous structure. And usually what happens when you have a break of structure, you retest that structure. You retest as previous structure. So for example, this is resistance. Resistance is broken. Sorry, resistance is broken and retested as support. But I want you to let me just take this off my chart. If I didn't have the EMA, remember I used the EMA as confluence. If I didn't have this EMA, all I would have is a breaker structure and retesting structure. Right? Right enough. You can trade on that, but the chances of price pushing through this barrier and closing um, and you losing a trade is much higher. Whereas if I have this in confluence with all of the other stuff that I have, remember it's an added confluence. If I have this, the trade just looks much more simpler. It gives you more confidence, quote unquote, to take this specific trade. Now, obviously, we can see what happened. The trade didn't work out in our favor, so it would have been a break in. So, for example, what I would look for when trading is a pullback to the EMA as well as previous structure. So in this example, price broke, price retested, perfectly retested our 50 EMA, and that's perfectly what we want. We scale down, we look for an entry on either the 30 minutes or even the 15 minutes, right? Let's say we had that, got our entry stops below number one, the 50 EMA, and number two, the previous week. Right, checklist done. You probably target number one target would be here, and number two would be next structure that you would look for when you look left. Now, obviously, the trade didn't work out in our favor. So what do? React and adapt. The same line that I drew here is previous structure here. So what happened? Let me play it out for you. Price broke through this previous level, but where does price retest? Price retests our 50 EMA perfectly, reacting at that. And I mean, if I had to put a Fibonacci, don't ask me, I might make a video in the future, but the Fibonacci is a whole new thing that you can use also as confluence. But I mean, if I put my phobia and we see that number one, we are retesting previous price. So support has been broken and is now retested as resistance. Beyond and above that, we are retesting the 50 EMA. Beyond and above that, we have a retest of the 61.8. Now, if you don't know, the 61.8 is a golden ratio. I love it. Usually works out for me. Mostly works out for me. So, let's even take this bearish engulfing as an entry candlestick. Stops number one behind the 50, above the 50 EMA. Number two, above this week, right? Then what we do is we target the low of this structure, and then let's actually put the EMA back on. Let's put the EMA back on. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. This, and let's target, for example, firstly the negative 27, and then secondly, if we go even further down, we target the negative 61.8, and eventually we reach that target. Bada bing, bada boom. Simple trade, literally just off support and resistance as well as the EMA, and that's how I use it as confluence. Let's take another level, for example. Uh, I could be looking at something like this. Let's say you missed your first entry here, and this, don't ask me how I got this level. It's part of my strategy, so I can see it as it is. Um, Take a look at this. Price goes down, price retests this level, and notice how we have a level of resistance, support. Resistance broke through, kind of played around there. Then we have another level of resistance here. Price broke, price retests this level as resistance. But what makes this trade different from this trade is there's more confluence in the second zone. So if we didn't get this and prices kept falling, we would have missed the entry. But because price came back and retested here, this would be my next entry because we are retesting the EMA as well as a level in the market. The price has been tested time and time and time again. So for example, if I had to scale, let's say we got a bearish engulf in somewhere here, evening star, whatever the case may be, stops above the 50 and above previous structure here. And what we would do is, even if we had to place a foot, bada bing, bada boom, and price just kept falling and falling and falling, and eventually came back up. Now, even if I'm looking at this, I am in the replay mode, but I don't really know what's gonna happen next, but I'm seeing a potential setup here. And oh my days, I just saw this now. Let me just show you what I'm seeing. The exact same trade that happened here has literally been duplicated right here. And look at this. Look at this. Price came up. Price came up. Second time retesting the EMA, and we fell. Now what I want to do is literally copy and paste this here. Paste this level also there. So let me break this down for you. Now I'll play it out in a sec. Um, Simple price action. We have a level in the market. Price broke. Price retested that previous level in the market. Wouldn't get in here. Why would I get in here? Because we are retesting the 50 EMA. So what should indirectly happen is something like that, and I would enter, say here, just for the video sake, stops above there, and we would just probably target, let's say 1 to 3, for example, because that's one of my rules. Always target a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. But let's play it out quickly, and let's just see how a trade actually went. Trading, boom, another break of structure. Perfect. So hopefully looking for a retest of that structure and waiting for price to go down. Check it. I mean, it takes time, but it's still going. And it happens time and time again. And I don't want to stress this that it's such a powerful. I don't want to call it a strategy. I don't want to be like all the gurus that go use my strategy, use this strategy. I'm just showing you that you can implement this in your trading style as an extra layer of confluence. And I know some traders can be like, you can't use this uh, only as only to trade. You need all of the other things. Yes, you do need all of the other things. What I'm trying to explain to you is that you can use this in your trading strategy and really maximize your profits. That's my goal at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm really trying to help struggling traders just like I was back in the day. I used to struggle. I really, really did. And this is such a simple thing to implement in your trading strategy and a way for you to get the bag. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to make a. Okay, let's have a quick look. We are on AUDJPY. Good. We are love trading. And the first thing I notice, and I really, really do hope you see it with me again, I see the exact same trades in out of the market every day. Every day it's that easy. I'm not, you know what? I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's doable. It takes time. It really does. It takes time and focus. But when you get it and you see it, there's gonna be a day where you're gonna be, wow, my eyes has really just opened. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. But I know I'm talking a lot. Let me just show you quickly. Let's look at this simple trade again. We did this on the other chart. Let's do the exact same here. Okay, you know what? Forget about the book. Forget about the book. It's not even complicated, but keeping it simple. We have a previous level in the market, right? We have wick, wick, wick. We close out there. We placed our line there. What we have is a break of structure in the market. What do we look for when we have a break of structure in the market? We look for a retest of that previous level in the market. And where do we retest? We retest the 50 EMA perfectly in confluence with this previous level in the market. And I'm simply just looking at a entry signal on a lower time frame stops below this 50 area and I'm talking high. And we definitely got TP1 on this trade. 100 pips. 100 pips is amazing in the market. If you can do that every day, that would literally change your life. On my life, swear to God. So, damn man, I literally gave you some gems, and I hope you're gonna um, focus on this and implement it in your trading strategy. What I would love is for you to like, comment, and subscribe in this video. It would make my heart so warm because I know I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm really trying to give out as much information as I possibly can. While I'm fumbling on my words, but I would appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments if this really helped you in your trading journey, if you're really starting out, because I'm all about help, man. And you can literally ask me anything, and I'll help you to the best of my ability. Appreciate you guys.